Time for another update from the Philippines. You know, it might be a dated analogy. You might have to have been born in a year that starts with 19 to get it, or maybe you just need to have a background in agriculture. But our life right now feels a little bit like we're sitting on a three-legged milking stool. In just a few hours, I'll put my husband on a plane back to the United States. I'm not looking forward to the 21 days without him here, especially since one of those will be our 27th wedding anniversary. But we are trusting that God has a plan and that He knows what we need before we even do. And so we're walking in obedience to take the next step. The purpose for the trip is threefold. Active response to the perfect trifecta of the storms of this life that have hit us at this time. The first and most obvious is the sale of our family home at public auction later this month. This in itself is a mixed blessing. On one hand, it will be so emotionally and financially freeing to not own a large property while doing ministry and life on the other side of the globe. But on the other hand, it is our family home, the place that we built with dreams and hopes, the place where our children grew up. This is an important leg of the stool. The other two are a little less obvious, but also come out of a place of growth. And just like owning a home can be a financial strain, so can a quickly growing ministry. The truth is, we're in need of a few more monthly supporters. The ministry here has grown so quickly that it's outgrown the monthly support commitments that we already have in place. And while we're speaking of growth, we're poised to make some really big ministry moves in 2020. But in order to do that, we need the special one-time donors that can propel a ministry forward. 3 legs on a milking stool. Without one of them, the stool can't stand. I'm not trying to be overly dramatic. We're not in a desperate panic. There have been some hard conversations. There have been some tough decisions to make, one of which was sending Rusty back to the States alone. I tell you all of this to be vulnerable, to say that even though there's growth and there's success and there's fruit, ministry life is hard. We make tough choices and we walk a narrow path on faith. We're asking you to pray. Pray that the house sells and sells strong. Pray that there'll be new monthly supporters who will commit to the ministry and then follow through on that commitment. And pray that God would lead us to those special donors to invest in the kingdom work among the Yati with enthusiasm. Pray for our hearts as we're apart, each of us leaning on Jesus alone in a more purposeful and deliberate way. Pray for our kids who are walking through this with us, sometimes concerned, sometimes discouraged, and sometimes just plain angry. Pray that they would have peace and real joy in service and sacrifice that they are making, and that they would be content with whatever God answers whenever He brings answers. Thanks for sticking with us. We couldn't do this without you.